Morning. Hi friends, it is so good to see you here on this Monday. I'm Tim Pham. We're glad you're joining us for a brand new week here on Up with KREM. Meteorologist Michelle Boss is joining us this morning. Michelle, we're glad to see you here. Also, Michelle normally obviously does weekend nights, so we know it was a quick turnaround, so we're so thankful that you're here, but Thomas is enjoying a much deserved day off. So what's in store on this Monday morning?
So I have an interesting forecast because I'm going to be talking about some rain and kind of gloomy weather in the short term, but later on in the week looking pretty fantastic. So take a look outside right now. Temperature wise, not terribly chilly start to the morning, especially in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. We're in the upper 40s right now and don't expect it to drop much more over the next hour or so before the sun's up. But we do have temperatures down in the mid 30s in Sandpoint, so a little bit chilly there, and right at 40 in Deer Park. Elsewhere across central Washington, temperatures generally in the middle and upper 40s. It's just under 50 degrees across the Washington and Idaho Palouse, and 56 degrees. Nice mild start there in Lewiston. 47 and mostly cloudy skies. We've got high cloud cover out there right now, but those clouds are really going to be thickening up as the morning progresses. So we'll get some sun breaks to start the day, but it's going to be cloudier as the day progresses. Storm system going to be moving in this afternoon. That's going to bring us some wet weather between about 3 and 9 p.m. So temperatures will peak around 60 at midday and then fall back into the 50s this afternoon with some rain showers.
Our big story this morning, an investigation in North Spokane County. A security guard shot 2 people, killing 1 in Meade over the weekend. The Spokane County Sheriff's Office says this happened on the 2400 block of East Hawthorne Road on Saturday morning. This is just behind the North Point Shopping Plaza. 2 people got into a fight with the security guard, and during that fight, the security guard shot both of them. 1 died at the scene while the other was taken to a hospital. Deputies have not released their condition as of this morning. The security guard was not hurt, and right now police are not saying if anyone will be charged for the shooting or exactly what led up to the shots being fired. You can depend on us to stay on top of this story. And new from over the weekend, community members gathered in prayer for a Spokane mural artist who was shot at a protest in New Mexico last week. 39-year-old Jacob Johns was shot after a fight broke out during a protest over a controversial statue of a Spanish conquistador who oversaw the massacre of hundreds of indigenous people in New Mexico. During the fight, 23-year-old Ryan Martinez pulled out a gun and shot Johns in the chest.
He gives a face to the people that are just in our community, but historical people as well. I'm not surprised that he would put himself in front of elders, children, or women to protect them, that he would put his own life.
Johns is in stable condition this morning. Martinez was arrested by state police and is now charged with attempted murder. Developing right now, the city of Spokane is joining a multi-state effort to overturn 2 court rulings that limit how several western states can respond to homelessness. Those rulings say cities cannot punish people experiencing homelessness for sleeping or camping in public spaces if there are not enough shelter beds. More than a dozen cities are asking the U.S. Supreme Court to review the decisions from the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. Mayor Nadine Woodward says these laws mean they have to divert people to overnight shelters and keeps the city from funding and implementing longer-term solutions.
Right now, if we were required to have a shelter bed for every single homeless person, we would have to duplicate that shelter numerous times, and we just don't have the funding to do that. We need to be able to invest in other resources that we know move people out of homelessness.
Woodward says if the rulings are overturned, she'll look at stricter penalties for camping and sleeping in public. Well, a Spokane staple will soon be flying once again over Spokane. The Lilac Butterfly at Riverfront Park has been down for about 2 years, and there's plans to bring it back now. KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones live from Riverfront Park right now. And Brandon, these butterflies are iconic. Every Spokaneite knows these. So tell us a little bit more about the background of them and when they'll be back. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Tim. Well, first things first, construction is expected to start here today, Monday, October 2nd, and it's expected to last for about 1 or 2 weeks. And you can see right behind me, there's a fence around the area where that butterfly is going back up. So park goers, you can expect to see that for the next few weeks until it's officially installed. But if you can remember back in January of 2021, the butterfly was damaged during a windstorm. Park officials say an original weld was broke under the extreme force of 70-mile-per-hour winds. And to combat any further problems, the butterfly has gone through complete re-engineering. That includes several structural and aerodynamic modifications to enhance safety and add flexibility to those wings that are high up in the air. The hope with these changes is to withstand the elements and provide more wing support. In the event of any failure though, a fail-safe lanyard is also going to be on the newly installed butterfly, and that will remain attached to the post. So yeah, Tim, there's a lot of excitement right now for this iconic staple to go back up, and it initially went into place back in 1974 during the World's Fair Expo. So almost 50 years of being here in Spokane, and we'll be hanging around and hopefully start to see some of those construction crews head in this morning. But for now, reporting live at Riverfront Park, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
It's just about 6:07 here. Let's take a look at your morning rush. More news in less time. An Apache helicopter crash made a hard landing during a military exercise on Friday. This happened south of Vantage. The Grand County Sheriff's Office says the pilot and co-pilot were in the middle of a training exercise when they clipped the high-tension power lines that stretch across the Columbia River. Both were taken to a military training center in Yakima for medical treatment and are expected to be okay. Covering North Idaho this morning, a federal appeals court ruled that Idaho's abortion ban can now go into full effect. The court overturned a pause on a part of the abortion ban. The Department of Justice was suing the state over the lack of exemptions in the ban. Their current exemptions are for rape, incest, or to protect the mother's life. New details right now. A Post Falls man pleaded guilty for stealing more than $80,000 in COVID funds. 79-year-old James Weinbrenner filed unemployment claims in Nevada, receiving tens of thousands in unemployment benefits. He now faces up to 10 years in prison and must pay the state of Nevada back everything he stole. Weinbrenner will be sentenced on November 14th. Happening tonight, the Spokane City Council is expected to discuss an ordinance cracking down on illegal massage parlors in the city. The ordinance states it would establish a better process for the denial of business licenses due to illegal activity, specifically working to prevent human trafficking or prostitution. All massage therapists within city limits would be subject to screenings and background checks to make sure they meet certification standards. Looking ahead, applications for Idaho Launch Grants open tomorrow. The new statewide program offers scholarships to high school students to pursue in-demand careers. Graduating high school students or anyone earning their GED can apply. To qualify, a student must be an Idaho resident, apply to a qualifying Idaho institution, and complete a career pathway plan in the application process. The state says it'll cover 80% of tuition and costs, capping out at $8,000 per person. That is a look at your morning rush. This looks fun. It's unlike any game show you've ever seen. In the next 8 minutes on Up with KREM, we introduce you to a new game show airing right here on KREM 2.
Exploiting some of these vulnerabilities, how quickly could you steal a car?
In about a minute or less.
Wow, okay. Plus, in our next half hour, we are taking a look at the latest way thieves are hacking into cars and stealing them from right in front of homes. And it's time for your wake-up call. The Powerball has once again hit the $1 billion mark. Yeah, that's with a B. So this morning we want to know, how would you spend that billion after winning the lottery if you won? You can text us at 509-448-2000 or use the hashtag #UpWithKREM on social media. Here's what you're saying. Someone said paying off student loans and then buy me and my parents a house. I love that. Yeah, student loans restarted yesterday if you don't remember, so don't forget. Someone also said pay off their parents' house and then mine. Love the generosity. A lot of people wanting to buy houses. Someone Someone else said, good morning, it'd be a very low-profile Secret Santa. That sounds like very fun, too. Okay, here's a live look outside, though. We say good morning to you, Inland Northwest. Happy Monday to you. Look at that sunrise in Coeur d'Alene. It is beautiful. Grab a cup of coffee and join us for more Up with KREM.